Hey guys, I just want to do a bit of a quick check-in and an update for the week, or actually probably for the month, really, and acknowledge all of those that have checked in for an update with me. I just wanted to share some bits and pieces to recap what's been happening in our private circle group. So our private conscious investor network's going to a subscription model as of the 1st of April. So we've just sort of left the majority of people in the group up to date at the moment, but we're going to be stepping up the information much more in relation to detail as far as cryptocurrency and precious, like all these areas that we cover off here, including, common law, cryptocurrency, health and well-being. I'm going to touch on that a little bit. Precious metals, property, real estate, social enterprises, etc. So we're going to step up a lot more in that come the 1st of April. If you want some more information on that, please let us know. So just to recap, there's some interesting information here for you to get across and just check out when you get a chance as well. There's stuff there about Dr. Dreas Nowak. That's the video that he released shortly after he was killed, about a week or so after that. There's some stuff here from Stephen Andrew, the MP from Morani, about food supply. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that we're sort of aware of, but it's keeping abreast of it at the moment. And again, not to have any fear around it, but just to be organised. Of course, last week in Australia was Blockchain Week, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. There was some events they had last week, getting up to speed and that. There's some interesting bits and pieces of information here. This is Cliff High. I've been tracking Cliff High for a while, but some of his information is a bit off the mark. But there's some information here about Bitcoin and also silver. Like I said, we'll go a lot more detail into precious metals. Victoria's Ukraine refugee plan revealed for 500,000 Ukrainians to put them into the camps, and then obviously they will be forced vaccinated, or they won't be released as well. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail about what's happening, international travelers. There's the interview there that I did in the last week with Jet on an update on crypto. I hope you've had a chance to check that out. There's some stuff here around the World Economic Forum, and not supporting any of those businesses or organisations that are obviously part of the World Economic Forum and part of the Great Reset as well. There's a tweet here from Robert Kiyosaki, and I know a few people have commented here. Yeah, gold and silver, Bitcoin, crypto. So it's very interesting what he covers off on. There's a meme here as well about John Howard. Imagine if John Howard hadn't sold out over 2/3, 167 tonnes of Australia's gold reserves, near record low prices for 2.4 billion in 1997, so he could claim a fake surplus. Today, that gold would be worth over 14.5 billion. Legendary investor Bill Gross warns the Fed will crack the economy by hiking interest rates. So that's normally when they sort of start to jack the price up. That's when it starts to the early stages of the onset. Australian suburbs facing worst mortgage stress. Ukraine becomes the first country to implement the Great Reset. That's in relation to the social credit, the universal basic income, and also the vaccine passports. Check that out. Latest track by Muse. I'm across the music stuff, so check that out about Muse for their latest track. Slowing property prices, stock market faces a lost decade of zero returns through to 2031. So interesting stuff here. And like I said, not to have any fear, but just to be prepared around it. Creators of Ethereum, etc. So that's in relation to that. I wanted to cover off and just touch on it. I've been meaning to do it for a while, and I haven't done anything around sharing with you around some of my US trip. And I just wanted to cover off on some of this really quickly as well. This is some of the events that I got to speak and perform at in the US, and there's Major General Flynn there, and a lot of personalities. I'll just share some of the photos and bits and pieces. This is one of the event. I think it was maybe 6,000 to 8,000 people at this particular event. that I got to speak at and perform, which was great. Here's a short clip. This is General Flynn. I'll just see if I can play this one. Oh, it doesn't seem to want to play, but this is a General Flynn clip there. Got to meet and hang out with Lee Dundas. She's very lovely. She's lovely, the human rights attorney, highly knowledgeable, high energy individual. She was amazing to spend some time with. Mickey Willis from the Plandemic documentary, and also Judy Mikovits. So Plandemic 3 is due for release shortly, so check that out. Keep an eye out for that as well. Laura Logan, the journalist who's been putting out a lot of content recently, particularly in relation to calling out how the majority of people have been brainwashed around not just the Ukraine issue, but also the COVID issue in general as well. She's been a journalist for about 35 years. Robert Mackay from Patriot Street Fighter, some of you might know, have heard of him. Got to meet and spend some time with some of my idols, including Dr. David Martin as well. So again, super intelligent, very knowledgeable, and, you know, takes a lot of courage to call out what's happening. Roger Stone, Dr. Rashid Buttar, amazing individual. Got to have dinner with him. I'm here with Michael Proper, the CEO of Clear United, Dr. Rashid Buttar and his partner, and just talking about his life journey and some of the stuff that he's had to deal with personally and professionally, particularly in relation to the persecution and that sort of thing that he's had to endure. Got to meet Alex Jones as well. He's got a huge following in the States. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to spend some time in Mexico. This is where we stayed for a little bit. And that's the view of Acapulco Bay, which was pretty amazing. And of course, got to spend a few weeks there with Max before I left Mexico and then came back into the US and got pneumonia and tested positive for COVID, and then ended up following Dr. Peter McCulloch's protocol around the vitamins, but also the betadine, which is like a antiseptic type of iodine, I guess. Some of the people in the health people in our community probably be able to spell out a bit more, but yeah, syringe up the nostrils like twice a day to flush it out. And I guess the thing that's the crucial thing at this point in time is I'm getting feedback from health professionals, our community at the moment, and they're saying that people that are getting blood tests done, they're showing signs of graphene oxide in the unvaccinated people. So we're going to be covering off a lot moving forward in relation to having to do, and all of us having to do, ongoing detoxes just to keep in front of what's happening at the moment. I've got to follow a detox protocol, even though it's been a couple of months. There seems to be some lingering stuff sticking around. So with supplements, and then also with my blood pressure is really spiked. I'm up at like 183 or 107 at the moment, and I'm going to have to get serious about doing some stuff about my health. And ongoing detoxing also with infrared saunas and that sort of thing as well. So I set the goal when I went to go overseas, two things, and that's to be able to travel for 6 months, continue my work, and then also set the goal to have a #1 song. And we were able to achieve that, which is a little bit surreal in relation to being able to travel unvaccinated, but also being able to achieve a #1 spot in the US country charts. It's a very interesting and a very competitive market in the US. Some people have been asking about my dad as well, so thank you for doing that and being so kind to ask. So yeah, my dad was basically stuck in a COVID ward for 2 weeks, and I had to rush back and get to spend some time with him. He's just been released this weekend and going to need ongoing 24-hour care moving forward. So that's what's been happening with that. And then, of course, my mum's been relocating as well. She's moved her family home of 45 years, and here I am with the guys relocating the fruit orchard that I planted for her about 25 years ago to the new property. I'm going to show you something else here as well. Okay, here. I just want to show you, for some of you that mightn't have seen this, this is this actually used to be my home in Brisbane, and we spent a lot of time renovating this property and fully constructing it. It was an old property, and stripped it all out, built it all out, and put all fully organic gardens and fruit trees and everything through the property. Unfortunately, marriages end, and mine did, like some do. And yeah, I sort of miss this property dearly. It's estimated to be worth somewhere between about $4 and $5 million now. So designed and constructed and renovated all that property. So an amazing 180-degree views of Brisbane as well. It's yeah, which is been interesting to go through, I'll tell you. I just wanted to touch on this also to cover off on clients. Like I said, we're going to a subscription model moving forward, and all our clients and all our associates all sign off on non-disclosure agreements or confidentiality agreements. And I just got to reiterate this again, because it's sort of come up a couple of times in the last week, that all your information is kept secure, and we request that all our information is kept secure as well. We can't have clients that are paying good money for their time and information for that, in any of that information to be disclosed to third parties. So I'm very upfront and tell people that if there's a breach, I'm like working, being of service to all of you that are listening to this. And then we have to be very rigorous about our privacy and the privacy of the information that we're putting forward. People sort of talking freely about the contractors that we use or the services that we provide. And all that information is to be kept private and not disclosed to any other third parties. We do have a referral system for existing clients. It's kicking off on the 1st of April as well. Moving forward, we do pay referral fees for any clients that come on board. So we certainly welcome any support and that sort of thing that you can give us moving forward. So that's me in a nutshell. I just wanted to share this other little bit here as well. So I know we've all been dealing with a lot in the last couple of months. It's certainly been a little bit fall from grace since I got back, but this is the family home that I grew up on, and the developers are in the process of demolishing it and turning it into 40 house blocks. So yeah, that was my sort of childhood home where I grew up. And it's certainly a big lesson around understanding and knowing that nothing lasts forever. And yeah, to be around long enough to be able to see the context of things that are happening at the moment. But I've made a lot of expensive mistakes in my life, and that's why clients pay us for the benefit of that information and that knowledge. It took a long time for me to reach the place where it's not how much money you lost, but actually that's the value of the lessons, and that's why clients pay us to be of assistance, so no one else has to make those mistakes again. I hope you're having a great week, a great month. I'm looking forward to catching up with the rest of the people that are working with us moving forward. Like I said, Conscious Investor Network goes to a subscription model on the 1st of April 2022, April Fool's Day. And yeah, hope you're having a great month. Thanks for listening. And we're going to go through an interesting time over the next 6 months, particularly in the market and the impact of what's happening that's on the market. We're committed that we stay ahead of the curve and that you're best placed to be able to take advantage of any of the opportunities possible moving forward. That's me. Have a great weekend. Much love. Oh, and if you're watching 60 Minutes, if you get a chance to watch 60 Minutes tonight, of course, I'm in communication and become good friends with Julian Assange's father, John Shipton. There's a good story there on 60 Minutes tonight about Julian Assange's wedding on the 23rd of March in Belmarsh Prison. So if you get a chance, check that out. Much love. Connect soon.